Who were the top and worst graded players by PFF in the Bucs Week 6 win versus the San Francisco 49ers? Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. You guys have really been liking this series the more we've been doing it, so I'm always happy to continue to do this. I think it's been a fun piece of content we have brought to the channel. And of course, we are starting off with the offensive grades in this video today. Coming in at number one is Payne Durham. Now, I actually went back and tracked all the players who have been in the top 5 and in the bottom 5 on offense, defense, and special teams. This marks Payne Durham's third time in 6 weeks being in the top 5 of offensive grades. So shout out to him for that. And it's not hard to see the big thing that was bumping up Durham's grade: an absolutely elite level run blocking grade of a 95.0, literally almost a perfect score in regards to that. Far and away the best run blocking grade for the Buccaneers this week. Probably the best run blocking grade this season, period. So shout out to Payne Durham for that. Next, we have wide receiver Cameron Johnson. And just looking at my list here, I think this is the first time he has been in the top 5 offensively for the Bucs. Not really hard to see why. It was pretty much the best game of his career in terms of a receiver in the NFL. So shout out to him for that. He's been doing a lot this year as a special teamer, as an offensive guy, and he's getting good grades here offensively as well. So shout out to him for that. Baker Mayfield checks in at number 3. This is his 5th time out of 6 weeks being in the top 5 offensively for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is still on an MVP level this season. A fantastic run grade of 90.5. That was the best for the Buccaneers coming out of this game as well. So shout out to him for that. Somebody who's making his debut in the top 5 is actually Charlie Heck, which I did see a lot of people talk about my thoughts and opinions on Charlie Heck and the injury report video and say, James, what are you talking about? The dude actually played really good this past week against the San Francisco 49ers, and PFF confirms that, so shout out to you guys who thought that. Very good pass blocking grade of 80.8, a fine run blocking grade of 64.2. Actually, Charlie Heck was the 3rd best pass blocker for the Bucs in this game. In terms of run blocking, he checks in at number 4. So overall, very solid grade for Charlie Heck. It's gotta be his, far and away the best game of his season and his career as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Far and away the best game of his time as a Buck. Now, obviously, the Niners are without Nick Bosa and a few other pass rushers. That may have played a factor into it as well, but shout out to Charlie Heck. Finally, coming in at number 5, this will be his 3rd week in the top 5 out of 6 games. Actually, he's been gone for most of the season, so I think he's 3 for 3 right now. It's Tristan Wirfs, a 71.7 overall grade, 76.0 pass blocking grade. That was actually 6th on the team, but he was the 2nd best run blocker in this game, behind only the apparently nearly perfect Payne Durham. So shout out to Tristan Wirfs for that. He did a fantastic job, continues to have a very strong season for the Bucs. Now for the bottom 5. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. On offense, firstly, Luke Haggard checks in here on the bottom 5. This will be his 2nd time in the bottom 5. A 45.8 overall grade, 62.0 in terms of pass blocking grade, and a 43.2 in terms of the run blocking grade. Now, I don't necessarily know what the Buccaneers are going to do at right guard going forward. It is important to note, and I guess we can throw these two together, but Elijah Klein is also here. He had to come in at right guard because Luke Haggard had suffered a shoulder injury. So Mike Jordan is practicing. I am going to be very curious to see if Mike Jordan could possibly start at right guard. Maybe it'd be Ben Bredeson. Maybe you put Mike Jordan over at left guard, move Ben Bredeson over to right guard. He does have experience at right guard. Not sure. But Luke Haggard and Elijah Klein are both here in the bottom 5 on offense. This would both mark the 2nd time that both of these players have been in the bottom 5. Honestly, both held up pretty well in terms of pass blocking. Elijah Klein, for what it's worth, was the 4th best pass blocker for the Bucs in this game. And Luke Haggard had a fine 62.0 overall grade as well. Ryan Miller checks in here. This is his third time in the bottom 5 of the PFF grades. Not really doing much in terms of run blocking or in the pass game as well. Ben Bredesen checks in with a 57.0 overall grade. This is Ben's fourth time in the bottom 5 now, so he's been struggling a little bit this season. He's had to move to a ton of different spots on the offensive line, so I'm not going to give him too hard of a time in my opinion. Honestly, still a pretty good pass blocking grade of 81.7, the second best pass blocker on the team in this game, but the run blocking grade of 50.0, not great, all things considered. Finally, Cade Otton checks in here with a 59.9 overall grade. This will be his 5th time in 6 weeks being in the bottom 5 of the PFF grades. That's certainly not good, okay? Certainly not good. But he did have a good pass block grade of 69.6, good in the passing game with a 66.4, but that run blocking being a 53.5, not a great grade. So he is still in the bottom 5 for this game. It is what it is. This will be his 5th time in the bottom 5. Now let's go ahead and go to the defensive side of things, take a look at what is going on here. Firstly, Jamel Dean being in the top 5. This will be the second time he is in the top 5 defensively. Dude, look at that. Is literally almost, that's as close to perfect as you can get. A 99.7 pass rushing grade. He only had 1 rep, but he did get a sack fumble, so that's probably where you give him the near perfect grade there. And just overall, Dean was fantastic in this game. Now, of course, that 99.7 is going to bump up that overall grade, but still, he was really solid in run defense, tackling, and coverage as well. I thought he did a really good job. Dude, shout out to Jacob Parrish coming in here at number 2. This is going to be the 4th time in 6 weeks that he is in the top 5. An 85.4 defensive grade. He was literally just high quality starter level grades in everything besides pass rush. I'll take that every day of the week. Jacob Parrish has been looking fantastic for the Bucs this year. Vita Vea checks into the top 5. This will be the 3rd time he's in the top 5. 71.3 overall grade. The run defense has still been rough for Vita Vea the past couple of weeks, I feel like, where, yeah, you're just not seeing that elite run defense from Vita Vea this year. I don't necessarily know why that is the case. Maybe it's deep. It probably goes deeper than the grades, right? But tackling grade of 30, that's just not good. The pass rush is still great, right? The pass rush grade was really solid. In coverage, bro, I don't care about that coverage grade. You only drop back in coverage twice. So Kindle Vidor checks in at number 4. I think he's making his debut in the top 5. I do believe he is. Just an overall really solid grade of a 69.2. Good tackling. He had an interception, so shout out Kindle Vidor. He did a really good job there. Tyke Smith is the final one rounding out the top 5 here. This will be the 5th time in 6 games he ends up in the top 5. So he actually leads all Buccaneers defenders now in terms of top 5 appearances. Antoine Winfield Jr. is second with 4. So Tyke Smith has been very consistent this year in a good way for the Bucs. He's been playing very, very solid ball so far. And also, dude, look who checks in at number 6. It's Servassier Dennis. Shout out to Servassier Dennis. Seems like he's getting a little bit more comfortable since that absolutely horrid start to the season. You see the grades are getting a bit more consistent in a positive way. So shout out to him for that and making those improvements. Of course, Jamel Dean was the best pass rusher. Vita Vea was up there as well. Anthony Nelson and Hassan Reddick were up there also. But taking a look at the bottom 5, Deion Jones makes his way into the bottom 5 defensively. I think this is the 2nd time he'll be on there. Really bad grade, 28.9. The run defense not there. Tackling not there as well. Pass rush did fine. Coverage, meh. But overall, yeah, the run defense and tackling was not good. Greg Gaines checks in here in the bottom 5. This will be the 4th time he's been in the bottom 5. Does make me wonder if the Bucs may look to trade for a defensive lineman. And, you know, I know Greg Gaines is like, he's there, he's present, and he's had a couple of good moments this season, but I don't know. Being in the bottom 5 4 times out of 6 games is not a great look. Antoine Winfield Jr. is actually making his debut in the bottom 5, a 44.9 overall grade. Apparently he didn't do well in coverage or pass rushing, still solid tackling and run defender as well, but he is still in the bottom 5. Anthony Nelson is also in the bottom 5. This is his 3rd appearance there. Overall, look, the tackling was solid, the pass rush was solid, the run defense, not great, the coverage, and he's dropping back into coverage 7 times in this past game, which I still don't agree with, but it's not my defense. So Anthony Nelson is there as well. Finally, rounding it out, we have Logan Hall. This will be the 4th time Logan Hall appears in the bottom 5. The tackling grade was good. Pass rush, he's just not really getting it done as a pass rusher this year. I mean, his best grade was last week against the Seattle Seahawks, but just a lot of mid grades from Logan Hall, this year. He's not like doing really bad, but he's not exactly excelling this year either. So again, maybe the Bucs will trade for some defensive line help. I do not know. But finally, folks, let's go ahead and round this out on special teams. So Deion Jones checks into the top 5 on special teams. This is where he has been excelling this year. This is the 4th appearance for Deion Jones in the top 5. So fantastic work for him. Chris Braswell checks in on special teams top 5. This will be the 2nd time he appears in that manner of the top 5. Josh Hayes is coming in here at number 3. This will be the 3rd time Josh Hayes pops up in the top 5. Anthony Nelson checks in at number 4. This will be the 3rd time he's in the top 5. And then Marquise Watts appears in the top 5 as well. This will be the 2nd time he has appeared in the top 5 for special teams. Finally, I was wondering if he was going to be on here. A lot of people were like, whoa, James, very emotional moment for you whenever Vita Vea ran into the punter and got the penalty that extended the drive for the San Francisco 49ers. And you guys are right. I apologize for that. I let my emotions get the better of me there. That was not a great thing to see. But Vita Vea does check in on the bottom 5 here of special teams. I feel like that penalty probably played a part in it as well. I believe this is Vita Vea's debut on the bottom 5. Again, I don't know why Vita Vea is playing special teams. I'm just... it's improving, okay? It is improving, but some of the decisions... I feel like I'm probably nitpicking Thomas McGaughey at this point, the Bucs special teams coordinator. Just really hope things continue to improve. John Bullock is also in here on the bottom 5. This will make the 2nd time he has appeared on the bottom 5. Kayvon Merriweather is here. This will make the 4th time he appears on the bottom 5 in special teams. Payne Durham is there as well, checking in at number 4. This will be... is this his debut? Yeah, this is his debut in the bottom 5, and then Devin Culp is in here as well. This will be his 2nd time in the bottom 5. Ryan Miller, thankfully, wasn't in the bottom 5. Going back and looking at it, folks, this is the only game Ryan Miller has not been in the bottom 5 in terms of special teams. So, not great. But those are the PFF grades, folks. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear about it down in the comments section below. Before we leave, I do want to say shout out to the sponsor of this channel, in Sleeper. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Again, that is whenever you use the code MrBucs. And just for signing up, you guys get $20 for free. So make sure you go check it out today. Enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That is together. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.